I'm Mitali Singh, and currently I'm working as a legal intern at Lexis and Company. And today I'm here to talk about concept of voidable marriages. As in my previous video, I told you about the concept of void marriages and the essential conditions to the marriage under Hindu Marriage Act 1955. And in this video, I'm gonna discuss the entire concept of voidable marriages. I have divided the concept of voidable marriage into three parts. First, what is voidable marriage? Second, what are the grounds on the basis of which marriage can be annulled or marriage can be declared as a voidable marriage? And the last one is the necessary conditions to be fulfilled for filing a petition under section 12 of Hindu Marriage Act 1955. So if I talk about voidable marriage in basic language, we can say that marriage which can be annulled at the option of the either party thereto. It means that voidable marriages are those marriages which is valid until and unless the petition for the annulment of marriage is filed by the either party to the marriage. Or we can say that a voidable marriage is a valid marriage until and unless it is being cancelled on the basis of the petition filed by the either party to the marriage. Okay, so if any of the parties to the marriage does not file any petition for the annulment of the marriage, then such marriage would stand valid marriage. It would not be considered as a voidable marriage until and unless it is being annulled by either party of the marriage. In order to understand the concept of voidable marriage in deep, it is very important to understand that what are the grounds on the basis of which the marriage can be annulled and marriage would be considered as a voidable marriages. So these grounds are mentioned under section 12 of the Hindu Marriage Act, and such grounds are as follows. First ground on the basis of which the marriage can be annulled is respondent's incapacity to give a valid consent or his or her suffering from any mental disorder. Then this ground can be considered as a valid ground to annul the marriage, and then the marriage would be considered as a voidable marriage. And the second ground is the concealment of the pre-marriage pregnancy by the respondent. For example, if A and B married each other and A was carrying a baby and A was pregnant before the marriage and the A did not tell B about the pregnancy, then later on if B wants to annul the marriage on the ground that A did not tell him about the pregnancy, then this ground would be considered as a valid ground for the annulment of the marriage, and then the marriage would stand voidable. The another important ground on the basis of which marriage can be annulled is the consent of the petitioner being obtained by fraud or by force. So the same example I would like to give. If A and B married each other and B obtained the consent of A by force or by threatening A that if A अगर उससे शादी नहीं करती है then B would shoot her father or something, ऐसा कुछ बोल के उसको threat करा उसने, and after getting continuous threat from B, A gave her consent for the marriage. So if later on if A wants to annul the marriage on the ground that at the time of the marriage the consent of the A was obtained by force or by fraud or by threats, then such marriage would be considered as a voidable marriage, and the decree of nullity would be passed by the competent court and such marriage would stand voidable. Another important ground on the basis of which marriage can be annulled or marriage would be considered as a voidable marriage is that if either of the parties has not attained the age of majority. In my previous video, I told you about the essential conditions to the marriage, and one of the essential conditions to the marriage was that both the parties should have attained the age of maturity. The age of maturity in case of girl is 18 years and in case of boys it is 21 years. So section 12 laid down that if either of the parties are underaged, bridegroom under 21 years of age and bride under 18 years of age, then this ground would be considered as a valid ground for the annulment of the marriage. For example, there are two parties A and B, where A is the husband and B is his wife. If B is under the age of 18 years, then this marriage will be considered as voidable, or if A is under the age of 21 years, then it can also be considered as a voidable marriage, but only on the basis of the petition filed by the either party thereto. If A and B both doesn't file any petition in the competent court, then such marriage would stand valid marriage. In order to avoid the confusion, I would like to sum up all the conditions or all the grounds on the basis of which the marriage can be annulled, and such grounds are: first, concealment of pre-marriage pregnancy; second, the party to the marriage is not capable of giving a valid consent due to unsoundness of mind; third, consent being obtained by fraud or by force; fourth, impotency of the respondent; fifth, if the parties to the marriage has not attained the age of maturity, or if the parties to the marriage are underage. Okay, these are the 5 conditions on the basis of which the marriage can be annulled. There are many other conditions also, but these 5 conditions are very necessary for the annulment of marriage under Hindu Marriage Act. Okay, so now I have told you about what is voidable marriage and what are the grounds on the basis of which marriage can be annulled under section 12 of Hindu Marriage Act. Now I would like to proceed towards my last topic of this video, that is necessary conditions to be fulfilled by a petition under section 12 for nullity of a voidable marriage. As I told you that under section 12 either party can file a petition in the competent court on the grounds specified under section 12, but there are necessary conditions which has to be fulfilled by a petition under section 12 for the nullity of the voidable marriage. First necessary condition is on the plea of fraud or application of force on marriage. For example, if A is filing a petition on the ground that A's consent was obtained by fraud or by force at the time of marriage, then if he is filing a petition on this ground, तो उसकी petition में क्या क्या conditions जो हैं जो fulfill होनी चाहिए वो हमें point 1 बताता है, that is on the plea of fraud or application of force on marriage, a petition can be filed before the court within 1 year of discovery of such fraud or application of force. In simple language, I can say that if A is filing a petition on the ground of force, पर उसकी petition तभी valid होगी जब वो within the 1 year, for example उसका जो consent था वो obtain किया गया था in year 2018, and if he wants to annul the marriage in future, then he must file a petition within the 1 year of the discovery that his consent was being obtained by fraud. Then only such petition would be considered as a valid petition, and only then the degree of nullity or the degree of voidable marriage would be passed. In simple language इसका मतलब है कि हमें petition within the 1 year, suppose मेरे को 2018 में पता लगा कि मेरा consent जो था वो by fraud लिया गया था, और मैं 2019 में ही वो within the time frame of 1 year अगर मैं petition file कर रही हूँ, then only मेरे को degree of nullity और degree of voidable marriage pass किया जाएगा by the competent court, otherwise it will not be passed. The second necessary condition is that the allegation based upon which the petition is filed was beyond the knowledge of the petitioner at the time of the solemnization of the marriage. For example, A अगर petition file कर रहा है in the competent court, then A must prove that he was unaware of the he was unaware, or he was not having any knowledge of such actions at the time of the solemnization of the marriage. And the last important condition is that no sexual relationship is established after knowing about the alleged facts. For example, if A is alleging B of obtaining the consent by fraud, then A has filed the petition also on this ground, then such petition would be considered a valid petition only when the A was not in the sexual relationship with the B after the discovery that his consent was being obtained by fraud. Then only his petition would be considered as a valid petition. So that was it for this video. I hope I was able to deliver everything about the concept of void and voidable marriages.